Hi everyone, just before we get into this episode of Type 1 on 1, I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you so much for pressing play. I really hope you enjoy this episode. If you do, don't forget to hit subscribe and you'll be notified when new episodes come about. You can find us across podcast land on Spotify, iTunes, all those good places as well. Secondly, anything you hear on this podcast should not be taken as medical advice. I am, of course, not a professional, and you do need to seek advice from your healthcare team before making any changes to your diabetes management. And lastly, if you want to say hello, I do have an Instagram page specifically for the Type 1 on 1 podcast. You can find it at Studio Type 1 on 1. That's at Studio Type 1, the number, on 1, the number. And you can also come and say hello and follow me on my personal page, which is at Miss Jen Grieves. And all of that will be noted in the episode description. Hi everyone, and welcome to Type 1 on 1, a podcast that delves into the obscure, complex and challenging world of life with Type 1 diabetes. I'm Jen Grieves, and each week, with the help of some brilliant guests, I'll be showing that there is no normal when it comes to handling this whopper of a chronic condition, because we're all pretty much figuring out the messiness of day-to-day life with diabetes as we go. And most of all, even though it doesn't always feel like it, we are absolutely not alone. Hi friends, welcome back to Type 1 on 1. And we've got a lovely little check-in from our friend here, Ami Bennett, today, because it's been far too long. Hello, Amy.
Hi, lovely Jen. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So for those of you unacquainted with this wonderful human, Ami Bennett is a friend that I found. I don't know why I said that.
On the street.
Yeah. We crossed each other's paths through work. And at the time, I was living with the delightful type 1 diabetes because I've lived with it forever. Amy had no idea what was to come. She caught it by osmosis a few years later, didn't you?
I caught it from you, Jen.
Yeah.
We hung out too much. We had lots of other things in common. We worked similar jobs. We had done, weirdly, very similar journeys through education. We both danced. We're peas in a pod.
Peas in a pod, and now we share the busted beta cells too. But it's been a number of years now for Amy, and if you do want to hear more Amy, which you absolutely should, and you will see why very soon as we get into this, there are 30 at least.
There's
I want to say 40.
No,
episodes.
There was 30. Then there was the one episode I did originally of Type 1 on 1, which is my diagnosis story. Maybe don't listen to that. God, I can't bear to listen to that fact now.
I think that was like season 2. We're in season 15. That is
I think
wild.
It was 2020.
Yeah,
we did that.
I remember being locked at home.
It was indoor time. But we hung out quite a lot outdoors during indoor time, didn't we?
When we were allowed to do the distance. Yeah. See, even talking about this is weird, isn't it? The socially distanced walks. You could only go with
a lot of socially distanced walks, didn't we?
We did, because we were in the same area of London at the time. And then I ran away to a different country.
And then I followed you there.
Yeah.
Jen was only gone for 4 months, and I was like, I must see you.
Amy's actually recording this from the bushes outside. But no, we're both living with type 1. We both kind of have moved through lots of escapades, as we came to call them, and we have discovered that they just don't stop. So we're going to have a little catch up today, and those of you who are long-time listeners to the podcast will be delighted because Amy is a fan favourite, quite rightly.
Oh, love that for me and for you, but mostly for me. Thanks, Jen.
You're so welcome. So tell the fans, how are you, Amy?
Yeah, I'm quite well, I think.
Yay!
I'm all right.
How nice is that?
Yeah, I feel all right. I've had some mad escapades of late, but other than that, I'm doing okay. How are you, Jen Grieves?
I'm good. I've got a touch of the Mariah Carey wind machine situation going on my face here because it's just too hot to do the professional thing when you're recording a podcast and make sure that all background noise and such is gone. But I've shut the windows, so there has to be something.
As a a professional in this industry, I will say I can't hear the fan. I can just see your hair blowing like Mariah Carey's or
Yeah.
Beyonce. But
Oh,
Mariah Carey always has the fan, apparently.
yeah. Yeah. It's the energy I'm channeling today.
I rate it.
That's really all I've got to tell you. Thanks for listening. See you later. Me and my wind
And that's the
machine are
end.
off. Yeah. Yeah, but apart from that, it's summer in Spain. It's pretty hot. And I am just bopping around doing my thing, trying to figure out the literal tangles that come with being on a tubed pump.
Which was
quite a few of
always one of
those.
our fears, wasn't it, between us? Because
Yeah.
we're both quite clumsy gals.
Yeah. So we've both been on Omnipod. I had always been on Omnipod and now I'm not. No shade to Omnipod. I miss it dearly, but I am now in the tubed family and it is very different. It's didn't like that one. Tubed family. I'm tubular. I'm tethered.
No, I just in my head it was like a whole family who live in a tiny tube.
No, just me trying to figure this out. Oh my goodness. But we're getting there. It's like Androids and iPhones, sort of.
If anyone can figure it out, it's you.
Thanks, Bubs. Yeah, it's been interesting. I will say the algorithm on both of the pumps I've now used are, while quite different, both really, really great. And I do like everything I said previously about hybrid closed loop absolutely stands on the Ipso pump, which I'm now on. It's just a practical thing, really, having to find clips or pockets, or like my bra is now a critical piece of my daily equipment, which as a member of the small titty committee had never been the case.
Well, Jen, as a member of the big titty committee, I hate wearing a bra. So I feel like for me that would also be
Yeah, I don't love it. But it's that or putting it in my pocket, which is a world of pain when you're trying to go to the loo and you forget that it's there and you're trying not to yank the cannula out.
Where does the cannula go? In the same places that it would with an Omnipod?
Yeah, like mine's generally across the abdomen. And like hips as well. So, but what I will say is you can unclip it, which that is quite nice. So you unclip it for shower. Like sometimes I just give myself a little half a unit or whatever and bop around untethered.
A little naked treat.
Run away from the tube family.
Semi-naked treat.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. So it's just adjustment. It's just different, but I'm healthy, and that's what matters.
This is it. Yeah, isn't it? It's like making sure that that you're doing the best for you with what you've got.
Yeah.
I still see online, the tech thing. I feel really lucky to have what I have. And I think there are a lot of people still in maybe different parts of the country where I'm sure the guidelines are the same, but maybe the what's the word? The amount of budget that particular trust has is different. And they're still struggling to get stuff. So, that was me. And so if that is you, I feel you and you'll get there. And I think, there will be different options and you'll be able to make it work. Because that's what we do, right? Very resilient beings.
Yeah, we make things happen. I think diabetes has a lot to do with that for me, I think, growing up like with it. And I think you were that person anyway, but potentially diabetes has made it even more so. Do you think?
Yeah, like I always say it made me way less of a dick and like much more empathetic to other things, Yeah, I think it's really hard because you'll never understand it until you're in it.
Yeah, totally. 100%.
And I was very like blasé with my dad, like with people around me like you. I was just like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. And I'm like, oh, no, it's your absolute whole life. You can never turn it off.
Ain't that the truth? But that's why we're here. We're kind of poking fun at that because it really is the truth. But we're carrying on.
Jen, tell me about the tube. Tell me about your tube family. No, joking. Just also, can I just caveat? I did say earlier that I don't like wearing a bra. That means like an underwired bra. Do you still support the ladies? Before anyone messages me, the ladies are well supported. There's just not much space to put anything else in the bra, to be quite honest with you.
in my appointment the other day, we were talking about changing the cartridges over and stuff. And I was like, I don't want to change them before the insulin runs out. And she was like, it's very hot. You know, the insulin's going to get warm. And then I just thought, like, yeah, and it's sat against my sweaty body all day. You're so right. Like, it's a very different feeling carrying this pump in a bra to having the Omnipod patch stuck on your body. Like, yeah, it's a thing. So sweaty boob brigade. But then what are the guys doing? I guess the belts, the pockets, and I don't know what.
My brain went somewhere really bad. I can't say it.
Okay. We'll leave that one there.
It's such a funny joke though, so it's a real shame.
Go on, say it. I
can't. I'm going to leave that with your imagination, and I reckon in 10 to 15 minutes you'll go, oh.
No, I think I've got it. I'm going to verify that after the pod, after we've recorded. I think I know exactly where you've gone with that. But yeah, mamas and papas who also wear tubed pumps. I mean, the chaos.
Yeah, because the thing is, even with Omnipod, I'm always surprised by people, because like one of the approved sites is like your bum cheeks. And I always think to myself, how are you doing that? But then I also think, well, I wear mine on my arm or my leg and I sleep on it like without much. But like sitting down all day, I mean, I'm not suggesting you put it on your like lower rear. I think it's like upper butt cheek, right? But
the under cheek.
The under, yeah. I actually wedged it in my ass crack.
I'm not going to lie, that is where I thought your brain went before.
No, it went to a worse place than that. I'm sorry. But like, yeah, I can't even remember where I was going with that. But yeah, putting things against the body is I guess we don't think twice about it when you've got like an Omnipod. I've malfunctioned. We don't think
foiled. She's insulated.
I've insulated.
Amy sent me that on a text the other day, and I really enjoyed it. We can get into that one as well.
I was insulating. Yeah, I think it's like a whole adjustment, isn't it? Because even though the tech is doing sort of technically the same thing, the whole like lifestyle part of it is completely different for you now.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The tech, the outcomes, the health things, like I'm really happy with where that's all at. And as you say, like I'm super lucky to be in this position. And if you aren't a pump person or you're not there yet, or you don't think you'll ever be there, like completely valid, you do you. But yeah, it's the lifestyle adjustments. But there would have been lifestyle adjustments when I went onto the Omnipod. I just was prepared for them because it was my first pump, so I knew it was going to be changes. But I think the thing of going from tubeless to tubed is a less common way around of doing it. And certainly as someone who flings themselves around in a gym basement multiple times a week, that has been a big challenge. But we're making it work.
She makes it work.
But yeah, I still love you, Omnipod.
Oh, you look really sad. You look really sad when you said that, Jen.
I love you in a different way.
Like an ex that you left things really well with.
Fond memories. Oh, we went around the world together. I guess, yeah, me and Omnipod over 10 years. That's a lot of wonderful
you must have been
things.
One of the first users of an Omnipod, right? Like when I went in a separate Escapade, I ended up having to go to Homerton Hospital, which is not my hospital, to pick some things up. And in the Homerton Hospital diabetes waiting room, they've got like a big display case of like all diabetes tech. It's amazing.
Oh wow.
So they've got like the first Omnipods in there, like and while Eros, is that what it was called? It was, wasn't it? The one that you had.
Yeah, you told me that. I didn't know that, and I'd been on it for like 6 years. You went to some training and suddenly spoke fluent Omnipod. I was like, sorry, who's this?
I got my level 3 Omnipod badge. Maybe you skipped that one.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So yeah, the I don't think yours was the first one. but there's one before that. But like you were on that one for such a long time, and it was quite a while before, I think, before like Dash came out. So it makes me think that maybe you must have been an early adopter, or were you? How? Oh no, you wouldn't have been a child.
No, I was very much an adult bopping around London. I'm not that old, Amy.
No, young.
Oh yeah,
It
young.
would have made you
fair.
younger. You're welcome.
Okay, thanks. I'll take that. I think I remember when I got it. One, I'd never seen it before, never heard of it. Sorry, we'll move on from pumps in just a second. I'd never seen or heard of an Omnipod. I didn't know tubeless pumps existed. Like many people, I think I thought like they weren't really something that was available to a lot of people. I thought they were huge with like all these things coming out of them.
Like that picture of the person with the backpack.
Yeah, exactly that. That was me when I went onto Eros, yeah. And I remember like because I was blogging or whatever at that time, I was in my blogging era, guys, or YouTubing maybe. A lot of people just were like, "How did you get that?" And I think my hospital were one of the first. Certainly around London, there was only a few hospitals that did it, so a lot. Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize I was such a innovator in this field.
She's actually a tech-fluencer, diabetes-fluencer.
God help the world if I'm the tech person that people are going to. That
I think you
is
do
an
all
issue.
right. I think you do all right. You definitely know more than me. I still don't understand what a lot of the things mean inside the pump. I do get it when someone explains it to me. But you know, like I think maybe the way it's phrased, I just don't really understand it. So I actually am on an active mission to lower my HbA1c, which is not offensively high currently, but I want to just be in like really good health. So I'm working closely with my team at the hospital, and every few months we are just making little tweaks, which I wouldn't think to do myself. I would just leave it and just keep rolling, and be like, oh, I've been high every afternoon for the last 6 weeks and I don't know why. And so sometimes just having someone to explain that stuff to you is really helpful. So yeah, I'm learning about all of those things. So while I've got my level 3 Omnipod, I don't have level 5 is really where that comes in. By the way, anyone listening, these are made up levels. It's totally not a real thing.
She's at the Omnipod Girl Guides.
Oh my God, cute. No? I like that idea.
Be more fun, wouldn't it?
Do you know, I've just realised I haven't seen my handset for ages. I actually don't know where it is.
You should AirTag it like you do your headphones, which just blew me away.
Well, they're not AirTag. That's what I mean, because they've already have one in there, but they're attached to my keys. So if I lose my keys, I can always find them. Yeah, I should AirTag it, but normally I keep the two things together, like phone and. So that must be one thing. Sorry, we will stop talking about pumps soon. But now that you are on a tubed pump, the tech is different in terms of what you physically have to carry around, right?
Yeah. I only have one device, and that device is my phone. It is wild. Now, there was an adjustment period where I had to momentarily find an Android as well as my phone, and we were not friends. Granted, I bought the lowest budget one I could from that weird shop where you buy CEX Exchange. They have that.
I love that shop. I get stuff from there all the time for work. I
was like, how cheap can I go with this that will function? And yeah, it was a tricky time, but thankfully there's an iOS app now. Now, I will say, I feel a bit conflicted about it, and most people probably won't, but having my life-saving medical dosing in the app next to my WhatsApp stupid chats, memes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear this. It's like, woo!
Yeah. And also I feel a lot more conscious of holding my phone at the table, whereas before, like certainly in the Eros days, people would be like, what on earth is that? Because it looks so different.
Yeah.
The controller. Whereas I just look like I'm on my phone.
I have now, I think I've talked about this before, but I have now made a habit of when I go to a gym class, if it's with a new instructor, I will be like, hey, this is my phone. This is my insulin pump. If you see me fiddling around, I'm not checking my emails, because of that time when twice it's happened where I've been like sort of yelled at in a gym class. It's just easier now just to explain. Whereas before I was like very militant, like I shouldn't have to do this. It's my business. I'm paying to be here. But actually it just makes everything easier. But I know that feeling of, like at the dinner table, particularly in like a group setting where it looks like you're being antisocial.
Yeah, that's it. And because I do still meet a lot of new people quite often, I'm not like where most people our age are in terms of the routine of seeing the same people that they've known for years. So it does feel like something I have to kind of explain away, but it's okay. Like you saying with the gym class, you're kind of taking control of that situation for yourself,
Yeah.
which I think does help. So and I think normally people see my Dexcom before anything else, so it's like a bit of a bridge if I do then say, oh, I'm on my phone for this reason. But I noticed the difference in not having the second thing, because I've always had that other controller for like, well, yeah, over a decade. I've had that extension of my arm. But when I was running through the airport recently, I was like, I had a train to catch. My flight was delayed by an hour and I'd left this massive gap to catch this specific train. And I obviously could buy another ticket and get another train. But we like to live in hope that these things are going to go to plan. I was running for this train. I needed some food. It had been so long since I ate, because I try not to like mess too much with variables when I'm flying, because it just makes the thing a lot smoother in terms of like trying to figure out carb amounts and whatever. So I was running for the train. I always run straight into a Marks and Spencer's when I land in the UK in the airport, because I just love it. And I picked up some Percy Pigs and thought of you. But I picked up some food and I was like, right, I'm going to take this pre-bolus while I'm running for this train. And I already had my phone in my hand and I was, with my backpack, like back in the travel zone. And I really was like, wow, this is so doable. Whereas I definitely wouldn't have done that pre-bolus. There's no way I would have gone into my bag to get a controller out to do a pre-bolus if I was running for that train. And granted, I could have just waited until I got on the train, but that's not how my brain works.
You're supposed to pre-bolus, so actually you did everything right.
But I could pre-bolus on the train, but show me the person who's going to pre-bolus on a train and sit and wait 15 minutes.
Yeah.
No.
I can't wait. No. If the food is there in front of me, I'm not doing it to myself. Like, I just... And that's not the right thing I should be saying as someone who's trying to get their HbA1c down. But I did have a couple of occasions where I pre-bolus when I hadn't eaten and I was hungry. And then as I'm eating, I have a hypo. And I'm like, well, this isn't enjoyable, is it?
No. And then you're not enjoying the food, are you? Because you're just like ramming it down to get it in.
Yeah. So I like started just with the pre-bolus thing, like, for me, I definitely have to work out what else I've eaten in that day, what time I ate, how much I've moved my body and things like that. And if there's like not much food and a lot of movement going on, I'll try not to do it too early. Whereas if I've spent all day eating and sitting on my bum, like I find that work lunches particularly difficult, because we will go out for a walk to get lunch or go for a walk before lunch and then have lunch and then sit down, and then I'll like sit high till I leave, and then literally I take one step out of the office and I plummet down.
Yeah, I was talking about that to someone else who has exactly the same issue, and I definitely notice it if I am completely locked at the desk. I'm curious with this HbA1c lowering, because I would just be a bit like, oh my god, this is like, where do you begin? Have you found it quite like step by step helpful? Are you seeing things come good?
So the hospital team are doing everything for me, like looking at the graphs and seeing what changes can be made where. Because I think if I was doing it by myself, I would take a punt on something and do like be trying to change something when really it's something else that needs to be changed. So because there are lots of different variables, isn't there? There's like, how long the insulin lives inside your body, for what your basal is doing at that time, what your bolus ratios are at that time of day. So all of those different things are being tweaked, minor tweaks, and just seeing how we go. I am noticing a difference. One big thing I'm noticing is that the same amount of insulin that I was putting in my pump before, by the time I get to the last sort of 12 hours, I think you get a beep 8 hours before the end on an Omnipod. It's 8 hours before the end of it. I often have much less insulin left at that point than what I did before. So
Hmm.
I think before I was not giving myself enough insulin, or the pump calculations were off at certain points of the day. And then the other thing is I am way more susceptible to a hypo if I don't eat when I'm supposed to eat now. Um, but I understand, like, it really should push me to eat better and more regularly, because the problem I have, I think, with my job is when I get busy, I just don't eat.
Yeah.
And that's really not good for me. And that's one of those things that I need to prioritize, because not only does it like mess with my blood sugar then for the rest of the day, and it will impact like how well I can, you know, how strong I can be in the gym or whatever, and how well I sleep. It also means I'm hangry and not
Yeah, just
concentrating
how you
properly.
feel.
And
Yeah.
yeah, like, it just makes me miserable. And I'm really noticing now, like, the differences different foods will make on my, not just my blood sugar, but also my mood. And I guess that's cyclical as well, isn't it? Because if your blood sugar is very, very high, I get quite grumpy because I don't feel good. And you know, the same. And like, this is I think another thing that I always like to talk about is like the emotional side of type 1 diabetes, and how that is linked to the physical side, as well as the emotional baggage, like the weight of actually
Yeah.
managing the
Huge.
condition. There's also the emotional impact that, like, your body doing so many other, or trying to do so much other stuff, and the impact that that has on your mood and your mental health as well. And that's part of it that I think a lot of people just don't understand. I definitely didn't understand it before
Mm.
I was diagnosed,
Yeah.
and also at the beginning I was just like, oh, I'm idiot, must be hormones.
No, but how would you know?
No.
P.S. Level 5. Hello, you passed.
Oh, namaste, thank you so much.
That sounds
I
amazing. Like you just spouted all that out like it was, that's huge to have kind of made space for that, taken that on board, and to be seeing like the benefits of that. That's massive, because I think
yeah.
so many people are out there trying to figure this out. That's why I asked,
Mm.
because we are just like, well, why doesn't that make sense? And I feel like I'm doing everything right. And for me, I've gone the long way round. I didn't go to the school that I should have gone to.
Yeah.
I went rogue and went down a different path where I was like, I'll just figure this out for myself.
Well,
And it
you're an
took me
independent
like,
woman, Jen. She's an
yeah,
independent
but
lady.
I mean, let's not make things hard for ourselves. We can go and ask our healthcare teams.
Yeah, mine have been so good. Like, I had a weird blood result come back. It was actually urine. Something came back in the wee test where I didn't piss on myself. Congratulations, me.
I didn't want to distract from the serious topic, but congratulations, that was
Didn't
my
piss on
first thought.
myself. I've actually got really good at that as well. So I think I've got like level 2 piss in a cup
Look at this, you've got all your
certificate.
Girl Scout badges, Girl Guide badges. Was there that girl? Did you have a girl in your class who used to go to Brownies and had that sash? And there was always one. I never went to Brownies, but it was like fully weighed down with all the badges. They just had everything. You're basically that. That's you.
I was that kid.
No, we're supposed to have had the same life, Amy.
So basically, I just got really into this is bad, but I got really into the idea of the badges, right? And so I would find the easiest ones in the book. So there was like collector's badge, and I'd be like, look around my bedroom at home, and I'm like, what have I got loads of? And I'm a little collector of things. I love things. So, you know, now I'd have a really impressive collection of like stupid candles,
Yeah, I was going to say, you
or
have really nice bits in your house, like
but
trinkets,
so many bits, so
but
much
lovely
shit.
bits.
So much shit. There's so much shit. Anyway, so I'd look up things like that, and then I would get the collector's badge, because I just took in a collection of, like, I don't know, thimbles or something weird that I'd got from somewhere. And then I was like, right, I want to get the animals badge. So I was like, Mum, I'm taking the dog for a walk. And then she just had to sign a thing to say that I took the dog for the walk. And then I got the animals badge. Like, I would choose the badges that were easiest to get because I'm lazy.
I'm just hearing resourceful, which
Thank you,
works
friend.
really well for a person with diabetes. Also a multitasking, very busy
She was
audio
busy.
visual producer.
Listen, me age 7, I was out here collecting thimbles, walking dogs. I was in the leprechauns. That was my I don't know what they're called,
Leprechauns.
tribe. I went to brownie camp. Like, I was
Oh my
in.
gosh.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
that was
gosh.
me.
And I'm busy with ISTD isolation exams as well.
Oh, well, actually, it was the quitting of the brownies that prompted the starting of the dancing, I think,
Oh
or
wow.
taking that seriously. I did do them sort of at the same time. Anyway, a boring story. I am that kid though who I was that kid who loved all the badges. So
Here we are. Maybe I'll get you a badge for
don't
this
tempt me.
journey you're on.
Don't
Yeah.
tease
Some
me with a
sort of
good time, Jen.
2025. Oh
Um,
my gosh, did I tell you? My friend bought me a literal badge, a dire badge, out of nowhere this weekend. Just gave me this like pin badge.
a
It's a mini.
non-dire friend.
Yes, how
Oh
cute!
my God.
Like you wouldn't expect it, but from a fellow dire friend, sure. My
Yeah.
friend who has nothing to do with type 1 diabetes at all bought me a tiny enamel pink glucose meter pin out
Where
of
did she
nowhere.
find this? That's incredible.
I have no idea. It is so cute.
I love that from a non-dire friend as well,
I'm
man.
going to find you something for
Thanks,
this
friend. I really appreciate that.
journey. Yeah.
Yeah, so don't piss on your hand badge. Level 2. Um, so something weird had come back in my wee result. And so then the consultant called me to like chat through it. And he was like, I'd like you to repeat the bloods and urine. I was like, well, actually, I saw that you sent a letter last week and I had been in with the dietitian this week. So I've already done it. And he was like, fantastic.
Level
And
3.
then, anyway, the way it turned out is that they think the sample must have been contaminated by something because it's absolutely fine. There was nothing to worry about. But how good that they were so on it. But also while we were on that call, we were talking about lowering my HbA1c. And he said, oh, when's your next appointment? And I said, oh, it's in January. And he said, oh, no, let's get you in September. So he booked me an appointment in September.
Oh, wow.
And then since then, I've had another appointment booked in for November. Because I'd said to him on the phone, like it had just turned out this year that I'd had like January, May, July, and it had been really useful for me because even though I'd seen different people at all of those, like every single one of them made like small adjustments on my pump settings, which were helping me and it was improving. So he was like, well, let's continue that trajectory. Like we can't leave you till January now without any support. So that feels really good. Like,
That's amazing. I'm thrilled
yeah,
for you. There
yeah,
is
me too.
something to be said there about asking for help, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. And I've been really reluctant to do that before and actually just been like, oh, well, it doesn't matter as long as I'm alive sort of thing. But actually, the benefits on my all-round health of what having like a better HbA1c will be is going to be really, really good for me. So why would I not? Like, I was thinking, and back to that thing about that kid who wanted all the badges. I would always strive to be like successful at like work or in my friendships or relationships. So why would I not strive to have the best possible result with my own body? Because it's the only one
Yeah.
I've got.
And it impacts your work and your friendships and your relationships,
Mm.
which is the conclusion I came to when I started realizing that like it could be better and I could do it differently. And I don't blame myself for that. I didn't know what I didn't know. But yeah, then seeing the shifts of that on the rest of my life and how I spoke to myself, like who I was in my
Yeah.
head, that was massive.
We're really maturing.
This episode of Type 1 is sponsored by Dexcom. Using Dexcom CGM has given me so much confidence to make informed diabetes treatment decisions in the moment. You can choose to wear it on your arm or your abdomen, which is so great to give those sites a break. And all Dexcom CGMs have the share and follow feature, even when connected to an insulin pump. So your family and friends can see your glucose levels and get alerts, giving that extra bit of support when needed. Head to Dexcom.com to request your free Dexcom ONE Plus sample. Always read the user manual for important product aspect and limitations. Talk to your doctor for diabetes management terms and conditions and terms of use.
I do have some other things. So this morning I had 2 things through the post. Right?
Okay.
I've got them here. Oh, maybe don't put that there. Sorry. Okay, so
Amy's address.
there's my address. Come and visit. It's actually, that's not on my address side, so it's fine. First thing was, had the disco drops 2 weeks ago. Eyeballs are all fine. Good news.
Fantastic.
This bit is new. Evidence shows that if you're not found to have diabetic retinopathy after 2 successive screenings, you can safely be screened every 2 years instead of every year now.
Wow.
Which I'm happy about, but I'm also a bit sad about because I love the man who puts the drops in at the clinic. He is so nice and he always remembers me.
Aww. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I would have thought 2 years, like, you can shift things. I don't know. But great.
Well, hopefully not with my new improved HbA1c.
Less admin.
If
We'll take
people
it.
didn't, yeah, that's what I mean. If people didn't know that, that's new news to me. I'm just passing on the news. The next part. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I had a letter in the post from, do you know what? I kept it out because I was so annoyed by it. It's here. No, that's not it. That's a different one. It's here.
I feel like I'm in a lawyer's office or something. This is official business.
Oh, no, it's not. That's my MOT certificate. Anyway, whatever. I don't have it. I should have got it because it would have been better for the story. I got a letter through the post with a PCN, a penalty charge notice, from not from the Driving Standards Authority or whatever they're called. No. Not from the parking people. No. It was from the NHS. I got a PCN from the NHS for £100. And I was like, why have I had this? And it's because I was fraudulently claiming free prescriptions when my medical exemption certificate had expired. And I was like,
wow.
What? It expires? I had no idea about this. Anyway, I checked the certificate. Lo and behold, it had expired in December. But nobody told me that this was going to happen. And when I got the medical exemption certificate, the GP did all the stuff for me and I literally just signed the form because obviously at diagnosis, you've got no bloody idea what's going on. And then I called this NHS people's, it's called the NHS Business Services Authority. The man was really rude and he was like, it's your responsibility to maintain your medical exemption certificate. And I said, well, I had no idea that it expired. And also, I will always have diabetes and I will always need this medication. So why does it expire? That doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, he said, well, if you send a letter proving that you should have had a medical exemption and reapply for your medical exemption, then you won't have to pay the fine, but you will have to pay for the prescription. And I was like, what? Anyway, so I did all the thing, went to the GP, had to take an afternoon off to get there at the time that it arrived. I'm going to show you this because it's funny. Oh, it's really stuck to the page. I think I'll cover up that bit. So I got the certificate through.
Yeah. Ami Bennett.
Ami Bennett. I was like, you lot are taking the piss. And I was like, is it because me and that man had a fight on the phone? Because he basically hung up on me in the end. Because I was like, I don't understand why this has happened. And I was like, why should I have to pay £100? It's like, I'm always sick. So yeah, then it came through for Ami Bennett. So I called them again and I was like, guys, what is going on here? And he said, oh, sorry, it was a different man this time who was a bit nicer. And he said, oh, it's a scanning machine. Sometimes it scans it wrong. And I said, but why didn't it check it against like my NHS number and all the other information that I had given you on the form? He's like, it doesn't, it just prints it out. And I was like, well, can I still use this? And he's like, yeah, you can still use it. I said, yeah, but am I going to get a fine for like fraudulently claiming prescriptions as Ami Bennett?
Ami Dennett.
Anyway, she's Ami Bennett. And it's proper. And anyway, but it is your responsibility to remember that your medical exemption certificate will expire on the 21st of June, 2030. So I'll just keep that one in mind in amongst the other 180 decisions I have to make a day.
Just pop that in the storage somewhere. Oh, wow.
Anyway.
It's just so boring, isn't it? All these extra phone calls. Like, it's
this
just
was
one big ongoing eye roll. Like, diabetes has not gone away because this thing has expired.
I know. I was like, mate, do you not think I have enough things to think about each day to keep myself alive without having to remember a date in 5 years' time where my medical exemption certificate expires? And I didn't even know that it expired. Anyway, I Googled, and they're apparently meant to send you a letter 30 days before it's due to expire.
Would make sense.
And I said, well, I didn't get any letter. And he said, well, the letter's a courtesy. It's still your responsibility. And I was like, you are a little bitch. I didn't say that to his face. He was so sassy and he kept talking over me. And I was like, you're not letting me finish to explain this. And he was like, well, you're not letting me finish. And I was like, all right. He was
God.
obviously a sassy man having a sassy day.
Oh my goodness me.
So yeah, that could happen to you guys. So just be vigilant about your medical exemption certificate.
Add that one to the list, guys. I did know it expired, but only because I kind of had a similar experience to you, but it was like 2 steps before the fine. I remember I was like 21 or 22. So I just come out of uni and I was broke. I had absolutely no cash monies. And I went to Tesco, running me errands, went to pick up my insulin. And, you know, also, how often do they ask for your medical exemption certificate? Some days they do, some days they don't.
I've never been asked for it, ever.
Here you go. So I don't think I was prepared, or I hadn't looked at it in a very long time. And a very, we'll call her diligent woman at the Tesco pharmacy.
Call it what it is. She's a job's worth. She's a job's worth. I can already tell you what that's going to be.
She goes into the same box as your chap on the phone. She was just like, I need to see your medical exemption certificate, which in fairness is valid. Fine. That is a valid question. And I gave it to her and it had expired by something like 7 days. It was a pathetic amount of time. And she made me pay for the prescription. And I just remember being so broke that I was like, I hadn't budgeted for that. I don't, like, how am I going to pay for this? I just remember thinking, like, I didn't lose my diabetes 7 days ago. Like, I'm still here trying to deal with this. And she just would not give it. I was like, but you can see that that's just expired. And she was like, I'm sorry, it's just not my problem. I was like, oh, well.
It is if I die, love.
But also, like, count yourself lucky that this isn't your problem, that these aren't the things you have to think about. And sure, she might have had other things to think about. But, like, come on. I think there's a human element here.
Yeah, I agree.
22-year-old terrified girl who had absolutely no idea what she was doing in life, let alone like reordering exemption certificates she didn't know she needed. But yeah, so that's how I knew.
And then I spoke to my mum about it and I said, does Dad have a medical exemption certificate? And she went, no. I said, well, how does he get his prescriptions? She was like, oh yeah, he doesn't pay for them. He just ticks the box. And I said, I just got a fine. My dad has had diabetes for like 20 odd years. How is he doing this?
He's just rolling the punches.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah, anyway, so that's my big old bitch of the week minute.
We'll call it a public service announcement.
It's a public service announcement, guys. Don't forget to check the date on your exemption certificate, because if the pharmacy don't and they give you your prescription, the big NHS police will come after you.
Do you want to talk about your insulate escapade?
Oh, mate.
Just to keep this energy going.
I'm an idiot. I'm just an idiot. You know, like some days you just think, oh, it'll be fine. And it's always that day when it's not fine. So I'd got in the car and I'd driven like 15 minutes away from my house and I got to the petrol station. I was going to see my friend who lives about 3 hours away just for the day. She's just had a baby. And I got to the petrol station and I was like, bought some car snacks, went to pre-bolus, because I'm really good at this now.
Yes, she did.
And I knew that I'd be sitting down, right, so for a long time. So I was like, right, I'll give the insulin a bit before and then I'll wait. And then I saw that there were only 20 units left and I was like, that's a problem. And I was like, do you know what? 20 units, that's fine. I'm only going for the day. Like, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And then by the time I got to her house, I was at 22 and I must have had 12 units of that 20 of insulin. I hadn't eaten that much. I'd only eaten about 45 grams of carbs. So I was like, oh, this is a problem. And then I got to hers and she was like, I've been to Sainsbury's. I've got us all of our favourite things. Now, me and my best friend, our favourite things are just chocolate. We just like to eat chocolate things. Chocolate crispy cakes. We like to eat chocolate brioche. There was donuts. There was a lot of nice things that we just, sometimes you just got to do it, right?
100%.
And I was like, oh, this is a problem. And then as I went to give myself, like, I was like, I'm just going to floor the rest of this insulin in and just hope for the best. And so, it wasn't the rest. It was probably like another 4 or 5 units. And then I realized my leg was wet. And I was like, well, none of this has been going in, has it? So this is brilliant. So I was like, right, I could just choose to let this ruin my day, or I could just carry on. That's what I did. And I drank loads of water. I must have done about 7 or 8 wheeze in the space of 4 hours. And then I was like, do you know what I'm going to do? My mum and dad only live 45 minutes from here. I'm going to go home and I'm just going to take a big old injection of Fiasp from my dad. And that's what I did. And I survived.
Good for you.
I survived. I didn't top out at high. So there was some insulin going in. I got to like 22.1, which is where I sat for most of the day. Despite being a little bit thirsty, I didn't feel too awful. I was just drinking loads of water. I was like, I'm just going to flush it out. It'll be fine. And while it absolutely has no doubt destroyed my HbA1c, and it did destroy my like calculations and everything for that day, like my glucose monitor's not happy. Yeah. I still came out at 35% in range. So do you know what? I'll take it.
Better than nothing. I mean, that's a time. Yeah, when you're 3 hours away with a leaky insulin pump, that's not the one. I should stress
why didn't I have a spare?
This is not how you should deal with these situations.
No, but why didn't I have a spare? I'm an idiot.
Yeah, but that's life, isn't it?
I think when things get busy, I sort of semi-live out of a bag at the moment anyway. And like I'm here, there and everywhere at different people, like staying at different people's houses, going to visit people. I've got one big bag of insulin and like diabetes things. And then I've got a little one, which normally just has a spare pump, some Dexcom over patches, and a little vial of insulin in. And that's just the thing that I didn't pick up that morning.
Yeah. And that is everything in one bag. So I do the same. I've got this like backup kit, which has now got my lovely enamel pin on it. Thanks, Katie. But if you do leave that behind, like when you're switching out bags and stuff, and I've done that so many times, and most of the time it's fine, isn't it? But it's obviously that one occasion where you're 3 hours up the road eating all your favorite snacks with a person that you haven't seen in a long time when things go wrong. But you handled it. I mean,
and like, while I don't recommend like doing that, in hindsight, I probably should have driven the 15 minutes back home when I realised there wasn't that much insulin left in that pump. But I didn't. And I paid the price. But, you know, that high feeling often leaves you feeling really drowsy. And I knew that it wouldn't be sensible for me to try and drive all the way back to London, having eaten a lot of like fatty chocolatey things. So I swung by and just got some insulin at my mum and dad's house.
You found a solution. She's resourceful. She's got the badges to prove it.
Obviously got onto the driveway at my mum and dad's house, desperate for a wee because I've been in the car for like 45 minutes. I'm like knocking on the door and I can see my mum like faffing around in the kitchen. I'm like, what is she doing? Mum, answer the door. Anyway, in the end I get the ump and I go around the back. I'm like, Mum, what are you doing? I'm desperate for a wee. And she'd like picked me a beautiful bouquet of flowers from her garden, and she was trying to make an aqua pack to put the flowers in. And I was like, you know, like so they wouldn't die in the car on the way home. And there's me going like, Mum, I need a wee. What the hell are you doing?
And suddenly everything's okay again. Like that is so pure. I can't cope.
She's such a dream babe.
What
Flowers
an angel.
Still alive. Very lovely.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thanks,
oh my
Ange. God. Ange.
I know. And I'd like kicked off because I had high blood sugar and needed a wee.
And then it brings it all back in.
Yeah, something about going to see your parents makes you revert to a teenager.
Yeah, I definitely hear that. I was actually thinking about my mum when I was just telling that story about the woman in the pharmacy, because I texted my mum and I was so upset about the payment and like having to pay for my prescription and just the fact that I didn't know and it felt so unfair and This is my mum to a T. She was like, well, you should check that, shouldn't you?
Not like, I'll stick a tenner in your bank account.
Oh, not like, oh, honey, I know this is hard for you. No, that is the difference between Ange and Sandra. Like, right there. But you know.
I think that my mum obviously like is lives with a man with type 1, and I think a lot of the time maybe she doesn't understand the ins and outs of how it works. But the fact that she just knew that I was struggling and was like, I've picked you some flowers from my garden. I was like, Oh my God, Mum, I am
So,
such an asshole. I'm sorry.
aww,
But yeah, it's
what an angel.
wonderful. Yeah, when you have family who understand and they just want you to feel better, which is nice.
Oh,
And my
isn't that
friend
what you
was
want for your
so
family?
worried about me. She was like, "Are you going to get home all right?" And I was like, "I'll text you when I get to my mum's. It'll be fine."
It's nice, isn't it, when you
So,
have those little moments where you think, oh, you might not get this, but you can be concerned for someone and care about what they're going through without fully understanding what they're going through. And I
yeah.
think that is like even more powerful sometimes, isn't it? It's like, I know I don't understand this, but are you okay? Like, oh, it's
Yeah,
just
what
so
do you
nice.
need? Like, what do you need?
Yeah.
Here's some flowers to cheer you up. My mum knows I
Yeah.
love flowers. It's just so nice. And also because I've been such a terrible human being, I've basically let my entire garden die this year. And she's
She's
like,
busy.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Don't worry about it, babes. I mean, it
Oh,
still looks all right. There's a very sort of dead looking tree out there, but I don't think there's any saving her.
she'll be okay. She'll come back to life, I'm sure. That's what they do, no? She says, with no garden and 3 plants to her name.
It's really dead. I'll send you a picture of it. It's the most dead thing you've ever seen.
But you're thriving, and that's what we really care about.
Yeah.
We do care about the tree as well, but mostly you.
Yeah, it's nice to feel more engaged with my body and my health and my care, I think definitely.
Oh my God, I
Not
love
that I
that for
wasn't
you.
really before, but I think now it's just like really, really fine-tuning all of the details so that I feel a bit more normal and like not like crucially I think we will always get it wrong sometimes through no fault of our own. There will always be days where you have to ride the roller coaster and it is a horror show of a day, but to ride that roller coaster a bit less I think will be real nice.
Oh, my love. That makes me emotional for you.
Well, babes,
Me. No, it's just really nice to hear. You might have to swear or talk about sweaty boobs just to round out this podcast in the tone that everyone's used to, but
well,
I'm really happy for you.
thanks,
Really, really
mate.
happy for
I
you.
really appreciate that.
Mm.
One thing, I'll tell you how we can round it out is because we did the classic thing that we always do where we get so excited and talk about 8 million different things at once that we didn't talk about your tube tails.
My tube tails, what do you mean?
Where have you got the tube caught? Like, what's your worst enemy? Is it a bag strap? Is it your bra strap? Is it a door handle? Is it like...
The one that keeps getting me is waking up in the middle of the night and not wearing clothes. Make of that what you will.
Oh, she's a naked girl.
Oopsie. No, I wear pants. But this is the thing. I need to buy like new pants that have some sort of pocket in them. But I live in
with a pocket in them. They don't
boys'
exist.
pants. I don't know. The penis pouch. Maybe that's where it needs to go.
I don't think it works like that though, because
Why not?
do you know what? I'm not going to get into my intricate understanding of a man's pair of pants because I don't understand that.
Moving on. Oh my God, I shouldn't have gone down this road because I can't articulate myself properly, and now it's just embarrassing. But it's real. So here we are, going to the loo in the middle of the night, and there's nowhere to put the pump. So the pump, usually to save myself from literally wetting myself, just gets jammed in my mouth. So I've got 2
I
holes.
thought you were going to say somewhere else.
Oh my God, where is this orifice that you keep coming to?
I was going to suggest, like, you will just have to stick it between your bum cheeks, like, at the top. You know, like, so then if you... No, I was talking about the ball bag. I was going to make a joke about a ball bag. But I thought, like, I'm trying to be an adult.
Demure.
And I mean, I'll never be demure, will I? Let's be honest. But you could literally, I do think you could squeeze it between your bum cheeks, because I know she's been working out. I know she could do it. And then as long as you're only going for a wee, you'd be fine.
That feels like risky business to me, because it's then too close to the water of the toilet bowl. Like, I don't want to go any lower with it, because if it swings now, it swings my body.
It's in the top of your bum crack. So like the very bottom of it is just like resting, and the rest of it rests against your back. And then if it was going to fall, your bum would be far enough back where it would hit the back of the toilet seat and not go down the hole.
I politely disagree. I think that is asking for a damp pump, which I do not want. But I appreciate the resourcefulness. I like the solutions focus that we have here. In the mouth.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's this simultaneous seating of the self and then resting the pump at the same time on the leg. You have to be very careful.
Handy.
That's quite difficult to do when you're half awake, but it does work. You just don't want it toppling, because if it topples and falls, that's then like pulling on the cannula.
Do you keep it in your pants at night then, or do you just let it roll around in the bed?
No, she rolls. What
about, don't you get in a tangle?
Less than you would think. I'm quite a still sleeper, as we've discussed on this podcast before.
Oh, I forgot about it. Having shared a bed with Jen on many occasions, it is quite terrifying. So Jen wears an eye mask, earplugs, and she sleeps like a corpse with a pillow over her head. And she sleeps in a corpse position on her back. And so if you didn't see it happen, like if you turn the lights out and then she assumes the position and you wake up in the night, for example, and see it for the first time, which is what happened to me in Mexico, I was like, Jen, what the hell is going on here?
Just channeling my inner Dracula, arms crossed over the chest. Yeah, it's the restful sleep position that I enjoy. So yeah, with that, my pump doesn't get too tangled. I have done it a couple of times.
Because you don't move. Whereas I'm a wiggler, I roll around a lot, and I will go from my side to my front. So I know that it would get tangled up between my legs or just under my body.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically my co-sleeping partner. It sleeps on the other side of the bed with me. So I know it's tragic, isn't it? But here we are.
Do you put it on the pillow? Can you imagine? on a purple velvet pillow.
Yeah.
Good night, my sweet prince.
Give it a little kiss.
Oh man. Love that for you.
On that wonderful / very tragic note, I think this has been a lovely time.
It's not tragic. That pump is more important to you than any man ever will be. And I hate to say it, but it's true.
You're not wrong. It would be nice to enjoy sharing the concerns of said pump with said man. But, I'm thriving. I'm happy over here. It's not a woe is me story.
Absolutely not. She's living her best life. Has anyone seen Jen's Instagram lately? Oh my God. She is hanging out with the sexiest, sweatiest people you have ever seen in your life. Jen lives sexy Spanish life.
Sexy Spanish life with a lot of very enthusiastic fitness people who are just, I'm going to say it, ripped. And they know it and they enjoy it and they enjoy showing everyone else. And I'm like, fair play. If I looked like that, I would probably be naked all the time as well.
I'll tell you who else is ripped. Jen Grieves. She's absolutely banging.
Oh my gosh.
Jen looks fantastic. She's working hard. She has joined slightly a cult, but we're not going to worry about that for now because she's having a nice time with the sexy people.
Well, for the amount of time I'm surrounded by people who aren't wearing many clothes, as we've discussed, I go to bed with my insulin pump every night. So we can leave it there.
Do you think we should name our insulin pumps? Maybe we should name them.
What would you name your? Yeah, but you throw yours away every 3 days, so
no. But I'd name the handset, so then it still has a name. I don't know. Answers on a postcard.
Yes, that's something you can message in with. We need one for Amy and one for myself. So yeah, love to hear your thoughts.
Yours would be some sort of it'd be Javier or
oof, yeah.
Yeah, he'll be sexy.
Jorge. Yeah.
Mine will be Alan. Actually, that was me. That was bad because we know someone called Alan, and that feels like a lovely Alan. We know a really lovely Alan, but I was actually thinking of an old man, so maybe not Alan. Sorry, Alan.
Yours would be a classic, a Dave, which is both of our dad's names.
Both of our dads, yeah. Clive, something like that.
Probably. A reliable, solid guy who would help you out if you were in a pickle.
if it was 11 p.m. and you were driving home from your friend's house with a blood sugar of 22.2?
You need Dave. That's what you needed.
That's what you needed.
Right, my dears. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Amy, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I feel like we've talked a lot about me being naked.
Yes, we have probably talked. I have probably talked too much about you being naked. Not you. It's all me. Actually, we're never really naked. We're never really naked. We've got a Dexcom and an insulin pump. We're never naked unless you do. They do come off at the same time, and you get the naked shower, which is a 10 out of 10 experience.
It's a nice time. It's a nice time. Guys, I've got a newsletter. If you aren't aware, Amy wasn't aware because she's having some separate time from Instagram at the moment.
Separate time. We've consciously uncoupled.
Yeah. And I respect it. I really do. So, if you want to sign up to the Type 1 newsletter, I send it out weekly. It's quite concise. I don't want to be in your inbox with a load of nonsense. I know you're busy people, but it's kind of this kind of vibe. It's real talk. It's short. It's just if you know kind of vibe for my Type 1 club. So head to type1on1.com. You can sign up to the newsletter there. Yes, type1on1.com is also my new website specifically for the podcast. So happy days, everyone.
Jen Grieves has a podcast website. And guys, in next week's newsletter, she's going to update everyone about how she got on putting her insulin pump between her bum cheeks.
It's so nice to have you back, Amy.
I love you so much.
Love you.
I do think that is where I would put it, you know. I'm not even joking.
What do you mean? There is no need to put it there.
Do you want me to get the remote control and demonstrate it for you?
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Type 1 Please remember that nothing you hear on this podcast should be taken as medical advice. I'm definitely not a healthcare professional. If you like what you hear, hit subscribe and do leave a little review on iTunes if you have time. It really helps to spread the word about Type 1 diabetes. And thank you so much for listening.